Hey lovely people out there, how are you all doing? This is your star guide Nikita and we are back on YouTube after a long much needed break. I know you all must have missed Nikki Star Guide's videos, but now I'm back on YouTube and all fueled up to make new impactful and informative videos for you all. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon and please show your love and support in the comment section so that I too feel motivated to make more such informative videos for you all. And if you want to take a professional consultation from me regarding your horoscope, then don't forget to send an email to nikistarguide@gmail.com and all the details are given in the description section. Now without any further ado, let's get started with our today's very special topic on the transit of Jupiter in the sign of Pisces and how it's going to impact each one of us as per our ascendant and moon sign. Jupiter, the planet of wisdom, optimism, luck, our faith, our belief system. What kind of morals and principles do we follow in life? How much happy do we feel on inside? Everything is defined and shaped by the dignity of planet Jupiter in our horoscope. And when Jupiter is dignified in transit, it's considered to be a favorable period for overall population in general regarding all the Jupiterian significance in our life as per our own individual horoscope, as per the lordship of Jupiter and the significance of Jupiter in our chart. So now it's time that Jupiter is all set to give us the best possible results by being in a dignified state in its own sign of Pisces. As we all know, since few years Jupiter has been transiting through the Saturnian signs and it hasn't been the best transit of planet Jupiter because Saturn's effect was kind of restricting, causing some kind of hindrance and restrictions in Jupiter's results. So now when Jupiter is going to be in its own sign of Pisces, we can expect some positive results and it's time to breathe freely, to believe in our dreams one more time, because remember, Pisces is the natural 12th house sign of the Kalpurush Kundali, which is all about our subconscious mind, our psyche, our psychic powers. What kind of hidden desires do you have, and do you have got the courage to make your dreams come true into the reality? So this is all about the sign of Pisces. Pisces is also a very sattvic spiritual energy. At the same time, it carries the energies of all the previous 11 zodiac signs because it's the last zodiac sign in the zodiac belt. And that is the reason it's also quite a bit of detached energy where one feels like they need to let go of all their mundane duties and responsibilities and just embrace the renunciation, just embrace the unknown, just embrace the act of seclusion, the moment of separation from the mundane reality. But when Jupiter is in Pisces, it's going to help us unlock our subconscious patterns. It's going to help us realize the subconscious blockages that we are having, and it's going to make us work towards creating a better inward reality, an inward connection with our soul purpose. Now let's talk about the dates of this transit of Jupiter in the sign of Pisces. So Jupiter is going to be transiting through the sign of Pisces from 13th of April 2022 till 22nd of April 2023, and during this time Jupiter is also going to go retrograde in its own sign of Pisces during 29th of July 2022 till 24th of November 2022. As we all know, the sign of Pisces consists of 3 nakshatras and the transit of Jupiter in each nakshatra holds significant importance. So Jupiter will be transiting through the nakshatra of Purva Bhadrapada, which is ruled by Jupiter itself, during 2nd of March 2022 till 28th of April 2022. After that, Jupiter will enter the Saturn's nakshatra, that is the Uttara Bhadrapada nakshatra, during 28th of April 2022 till 24th of February 2023. After that, Jupiter will be transiting through the nakshatra of Mercury, that is Revati, during 24th of February 2023 till 22nd of April 2023. So suppose if you are somebody who finds it difficult to trust their own gut instinct, to trust their own inner knowing, sense of understanding, soul purpose, or if you wanted to get closure to some of the past unresolved traumas in your subconscious mind, or if you were trying hard to unleash some of your subconscious powers and patterns, then this is the perfect time when Jupiterian energy will prompt you in that positive direction. And of course, it's in your hand whether to cooperate with Jupiterian energies or to get rid of it by staying the same, by choosing to stay the same. So it's also the perfect time period to work on a subconscious mind, the psychic patterns, our dreams, ambitions. If we are having any fictional ideas, if we feel like there is this idea in our mind and it's impossible to make it a reality, then Jupiter in Pisces will help us expand our knowledge, expand our horizon, our wisdom, in order to make those dreams come into reality. One thing we must all remember, that the planet of love, devotion, luxury, passion, and everything fine in life, that is planet Venus, gets exalted over here in the sign of Pisces. And now Jupiter, when it's going to be transiting through the Pisces sign, it's going to help us be more in fine tune and have that refined attitude towards Jupiterian significance as per the natural karakatva of Jupiter as well as the lordship of Jupiter in our chart. So be devoted towards the Jupiterian significance, whichever area that is represented by the lordship of Jupiter and the house where the sign of Pisces falls in our chart. That is one of the greatest remedy to unleash the best possible results of this transit of Jupiter in Pisces. Make sure to work on the sensitive areas of your personality, your brain, your mind and your life. This is also a perfect time period to learn and educate oneself about how the human brain functions, how our psychic patterns work, and how we can make our mind work and our imagination work for our greatest of good. During the time of Jupiter in Pisces, all the creative work such as creative writing, media, artists, spiritual realms, spiritual practices, spiritual organizations, philanthropists, humanitarian activists and humanitarian activities are going to be on rise. All the non-profit organizations, hospitals, jails, ashrams are going to be in limelight during this year. All the activities related to ocean, voyages, foreign travel, if you are looking to go abroad, if you want to settle over there, if you want to come back to your homeland, or if you are looking to get that citizenship and PR or your visa approved, then this year is going to be of one of the best one for you. More fiction stories are coming to get published during this year. More writers are going to be in limelight. More books are going to be written. More poems are going to be becoming famous during this year, especially on life, philosophy, churning of thoughts, NLP or any kind of healing, medical field, occult practitioners, or anything that is related to the 12th house matters, seclusion, meditation, Kundalini awakening. All these patterns, all these themes are going to be prominent during this year. Also, people are going to become more of detached and eccentric, also spiritual in nature. Everyone will be busy in understanding their own why, their own unique soul purpose, what they need to let go of in order to become their best self. Whatever is causing any kind of burden on you, this is the perfect year to let go of it once and for all in order to start a new positive cycle in your life. Now let's talk about the aspects of planet Jupiter. So planet Jupiter will aspect the sign of Cancer, Virgo and Scorpio during this year. So whichever house the sign of Cancer falls in your chart, there Jupiter will cast its 5th aspect, which is all about educating oneself. So in general, this indicates that our emotions will be becoming stable during this year. Of course, your natal planetary placements matter, but Jupiter's 5th aspect on the sign of Cancer, which is the natural 4th house of the Kalpurush Kundali, indicates that one will be working towards letting go of anything that causes discomfort within their own sanctuary, within their own mind, heart and house as well. So more harmony in family life, more focus and attention towards attaining peace of mind, comfort in life, and we will be educating ourselves towards attaining betterment in our emotional health. Next comes the 7th aspect, that is the 100% aspect of Jupiter on the sign of Virgo. So the area of life where the sign of Virgo falls in your chart, there you are likely to see the most positive expansion and growth, because Jupiter's 7th aspect is directly linked with expansion. And now comes the 9th aspect of Jupiter, that's going to be on the sign of Scorpio, which shows that wherever the sign of Scorpio falls in our chart, we are most likely to experience the deepest transformation process in that area of life. Now when Jupiter's 9th aspect, which is all about wisdom, understanding, rise in luck and fortune and ease, getting the guidance from guru kind of figure, is going to be present, we can expect ease in the areas of life which were causing some hurdle, or wherever we were feeling stuck in life, that area of life is going to see growth, positivity and a new revived sense of energy and positivity. Another important aspect to be considered during this time is Jupiter is going to be under Paap Kartari Yoga from April 2022 till July 2022 and January 2023 till April 2023. Now what does the term Paap Kartari means? The term Paap Kartari means that whenever a planet is hemmed between two malefic planets on one side before and one house after where the planet is transiting or is posited in their natal chart. So now this Jupiter in Pisces will receive Rahu in Aries on one side and Saturn in Aquarius on the other side, which shows that Rahu's ambition will try to aggravate this Jupiter's result in the sign of Pisces, whereas Saturn on the other hand will try to put a stop or slow down the process, the growth, the speed, the optimism factor that we are trying to attain during the impactful and positive transit of Jupiter in Pisces. So make sure to stay grounded, keep a check on your motive so that you don't fall prey into Saturn's restrictive mode, neither in the overly ambitious and elusive narrative of Rahu in Aries. Another important aspect of this transit of Jupiter is that Saturn is again going to aspect this Jupiter from July 2022 till December 2023 while being in the sign of Capricorn, being retrograde or direct as well. So now again Saturn is going to limit this Jupiterian aspect, limit our chances of attaining that fast growth and optimism and fulfillment of our desires. And that is why it's important that we keep being persistent in our efforts, because Saturn's third aspect is going to be making us work hard towards the Jupiterian significance in our horoscope. Because one thing we must not forget is that Pisces is an eccentric sign. It is equally eccentric and equally spiritual in nature because of many reasons. It's also symbolized by the two fishes swimming in the opposite direction. So being a dual natured sign, Jupiter while being in Pisces and Saturn's aspect on this Jupiter can actually limit our productivity level. It can make us sleep deprived, it can make us get irritated easily, or we might want to escape from the reality, the mundane duties and responsibilities, and simply stay within our own seclusive world of thoughts, of notion, of dreams. So let your creative juices flow during this time. I again repeat, do not try to stop the creativity within you. If some creative thoughts are trying to come out of you, let them come out, write them down in a diary, maintain a dream journal, because Jupiter in Pisces is also the time when one can receive some important messages about their own life path and soul purpose, as Pisces is all about subconscious mind, and Jupiter kind of expands the things and significance of the sign wherever it is transiting. So to avoid Saturn's negative aspects, one has to be consistent, persistent, and keep an outline and a realistic plan around your fictional ideas and creative ideas and dreams and imagination in order to get the best possible results of this transit of Jupiter in Pisces. Now, how to analyze this transit? Then one must analyze the results of this transit according to their ascendant and moon sign. You can also analyze through the Dasha Lord, but I would recommend to analyze from the ascendant and moon sign, and check what planets do you have in the sign of Pisces. If you have any planets placed over there in your natal chart, then this transit is going to be one of a favorable time period for you to achieve the best possible results. And if you have any planets placed in the trinal houses, that is the sign of Cancer or Scorpio, then also this time period is going to be impactful for you. Also in the sign of Virgo, I forgot to mention. Going ahead, take a look at the current Mahadasha and Antardasha one is undergoing. So the intensity of result will be fully dependent on the Mahadasha and Antardasha. Also, don't forget to check the Ashtakvarga points of the house where the sign of Pisces falls in your chart, and that's how one has to understand how the transit will impact you individually. Now, without any further ado, let's get started with our ascendant or moon sign analysis, and the timestamps are provided in the description section. For the Aries ascendant and moon sign natives, the transit of Jupiter is going to take place from the 12th house of your horoscope. Jupiter rules the 9th and the 12th house, and now with Jupiter being the 12th lord coming to the 12th house, it's first and foremost the time of deep realizations and learning through your dreams, getting closer to your soul purpose, understanding what you are here to do. Your imagination can be running wild during this time. If you are into creative field, if you want to initiate any spiritual practices, you want to move abroad, if you want to pursue higher education, masters, PhD, or if you are already doing it, then success is guaranteed during this time. Foreign travel, pilgrimages, taking your father to a foreign land, or visiting to a pilgrimage along with your father, or visiting a guru, or if you want to renounce from the mundane reality, then that can also happen during this time. With Jupiter coming to the 12th house, there will be a sudden urge to renounce all the mundane things and to remain in seclusion, to explore the world of unknown, mystery, to learn spirituality, to learn yoga, to meditate, because Jupiter in 12th house, being the sign of Pisces, is going to help you unlock your subconscious mind. You are going to realize and you are going to find out the answers that you are seeking for certain habits, certain patterns, certain blockages in your life and personality since quite a long time. Whenever a planet transits through the 12th house, it's kind of a time period of renewal of energies of the significance of that planet. So when Jupiter, being the 12th lord, transits through the 12th house, it's going to help you renew your principles, your morals, your ethics. You might find out a guru in a foreign land. You might travel. You might get relocated during this time. Change of residences on cards. When the 12th lord comes to the 12th house, it's a time period when a person can get into charity. There will be a sudden urge to serve the humanity, to let go of the mundane duties and reality, and to rely on the dreams on the unseen, on the unknown. So make sure that you have a plan of action in place and you are spending a considerable amount of time on the 12th house matters, but after that you come back to the mundane world to perform your mundane duties. Remember, you are going to be having Rahu in the first house throughout the year when Jupiter will be in the 12th house in Pisces. So Rahu in first house will make you take up sudden risks in life, while Jupiter in 12th house, being the 12th lord, is going to make your dreams, your imagination run wild. So avoid taking sudden decisions which can impact your life in a 360-degree manner. It can be a good thing if it's a thoroughly thought action, decision. If not, take some time, think about it, and then decide before making any major shift in your lifestyle. During the months of April till July 2022 and the first half of the year 2023, this Jupiter is going to receive an aspect of Saturn from the 10th house of your horoscope, which shows that it can hamper your sleeping pattern. It can make you overthink about things, and it can drain your energy considerably. So make sure to take ample amount of rest, maintain a dream journal, because Jupiter will help you unlock the subconscious blockages here. Read about spirituality, read about yoga, meditation, go for walks, visit an ocean, and it will help you come closer to your soul purpose, because Jupiter over here is almost ready to set you on a new path when it comes to your ascendant. It's your Bhagya Lord, which is waiting to offer you luck. And before that, it's asking you to get rid of the unnecessary patterns in your personality and life. So don't be adamant, remain flexible, learn as much as you can, absorb all the knowledge in the world about spirituality, about anything under the sky, and that's going to help you enhance your personality for the better, and it will help you shine when Jupiter comes to your ascendant or moon sign. From the 12th house, Jupiter aspects the 4th house, 6th house and 8th house, which shows that if you want to invest in a property, if you want to relocate, if you want to buy a new house or a vehicle, that is possible. Jupiter's aspect on the 6th house shows that you need to be mindful of your health. You have to make some necessary changes with the wisdom that you received from someone somewhere or somehow. So keep an eye on the information that you get on your health. And Jupiter's aspect on the 8th house shows that there will be a deep urge to do something that you wanted to do since a long time, something that we want to do when nobody is watching us. They say that what we do when nobody is watching is what defines our personality. So make sure that you know what you are doing and what's your motive behind doing that. And it's in support of the highest and the bestest version that you want to become in near future. Overall results will be dependent on the planets posited in your natal chart and the current Mahadasha and Antardasha. For the Taurus ascendant and moon sign natives, Jupiter rules the 8th and the 11th house of your horoscope, and Jupiter is now going to be transiting through the 11th house, that is the sign of Pisces. Now when Jupiter comes to the 11th house of horoscope, it's the time of fulfillment of desires, it's the time of gaining overall growth in life. Your personality is going to be more prominently, positively visible in front of the world, whereas Jupiter in 11th house will expand your desires. It will expand your need to fulfill them. You're going to be taking steps towards it and you're going to become more proactive. Now the key here is to understand that Jupiter is in the sign of Pisces, and Pisces being the natural 12th house sign of the Kalpurush Kundali, which represents surrender, which represents letting go of the mundane desire, mundane reality. So here the idea is to Connect with your desires, with your dreams, with your ambition deeply, spiritually, mentally. You must know why you want something, why are you chasing something, because desire is the root cause of our actions, right? Whatever we want to achieve in life, whatever dreams or ambitions we have, they are because we have a deep-rooted desire to achieve them. So now, Taurus Ascendant and Moon sign natives must know what desire they want to manifest in their life during this time, and whatever is unnecessary or whatever is not closest to their heart, to their soul purpose, to their best personality trait, they should be ready to let go of it. Then this Jupiter will help you fulfill all your ambitions and desires in a rapid manner. Jupiter, being the 8th house ruler, transiting through the 11th house also indicates change in the way of earning. The way you earn money or your finances can get a change during this time. This can even mean that high expenditure is on card, or sudden gains are also indicated during this time. This is a great time period for not only your personal growth, but also there can be a sudden positive event taking place in your elder sibling's life. With having 11th house ruler in the 11th house in transit, this is a perfect time period to showcase your talents in front of the world. Jupiter from the 11th house will aspect the 3rd house, 5th house and the 7th house of horoscope. Marriage is on cards for those who have been waiting eagerly to get married to their counterpart. Jupiter's aspect on the 3rd house also indicates that your name, your personality is going to be visible to not just to people in your locality, but also to people living in other continents. So make sure you do justice to the opportunities coming your way. There is a great chance of earning through stock market or cryptocurrency or any kind of deals which need sudden decision making, and that can benefit you greatly during this time. This is also a wonderful time period to have a great time with progeny. If you are trying for a childbirth, then this is the perfect time to get blessed with a childbirth. Especially if you are into business, if you are into any kind of creative work such as art, media, film industry, or if you are a teacher, a counselor, if you are into yoga, practicing, or any of the field where the 12th house matters or Jupiterian things significance is indicated, this is going to be a fabulous time period. Your business is going to get expanded. You can unlock your business, your work up to the next level. During this time, if you are looking to get into a relationship, if you are finding that perfect partner for yourself, then this is a great time to fulfill your desire. Jupiter aspecting the 7th house of your horoscope also indicates that you are going to get into contact with influential people who are wise, who are knowledgeable, and they will help you elevate your consciousness. Your network circle is about to get expanded, and Jupiter being in good dignity in the 11th house will make sure that you come in contact with the kind of people who will help you achieve your goals, who will help you realize or get answers of the things that you're looking for since quite a long time. So this is overall a great transit for Taurus Ascendant and Moon sign natives. All you have to do is remain selfless. If you can contribute for a humanitarian cause, if you can contribute for a philanthropic cause, purpose, or if you yourself want to join any community, then let it be spiritual community, let it be animal welfare, or if you want to serve the handicapped people, this is the perfect time to do so, and this Jupiter will give you even excellent results after doing this. So overall results will be dependent on your natal planetary placements as well as the current Mahadasha and Antadasha one is undergoing. For the Gemini Ascendant and Moon sign natives, Jupiter rules the 7th and the 10th house of your horoscope, and Jupiter will now be transiting through the 10th house, that is the sign of Pisces, in your horoscope. Now Jupiter coming to the 10th house, even if it's not considered an ideal transit of Jupiter, here planet Jupiter is going to be in good dignity, which in turn going to be helpful in strengthening the roots of the karma that you perform. If you are someone who is merely considered or concerned about the materialistic achievements in career, and you are hoping that this Jupiter will help you greatly in terms of materialistic success, then that might not be the greatest news for you, because this Jupiter in Pisces will mainly focus on strengthening your roots. It will take you one step closer to your soul purpose, to your karma, to your job, to your work, to your public image. This is the great time to let go of any unnecessary, unserving patterns in your career. If you are the one who was willing to make a change in career, make a shift in career, then this is the perfect time period. If you have any dissatisfaction in your career, this Jupiter will help you resolve all your queries and come closer to your karma. Love what you do. So make sure that you are connecting with these Jupiter in Pisces energies well. Jupiter in Pisces in 10th house can also indicate that it's a great time period to have a great work-life balance during this time, because Jupiter will aspect the 4th house of family, home, comfort, peace of mind. This also indicates that there can be a positive event taking place in your family, there can be an addition in your family, or if you want to renovate your house, if you want to invest in a property or a house or a vehicle, or if you want to relocate, then these things are on cards for you. When Jupiter comes to the 10th house, you can expect ease, growth, and expansion of opportunities and satisfaction, peace of mind in career. Jupiter will help you to take better decisions, wiser decisions, which are good for your and your family's happiness as well. Because remember, when we are dissatisfied with our career, we cannot do our best or give justice to the significance of the house that is exactly opposite to the 10th house, that is the house of family and peace of mind, that is the 4th house. So now Jupiter aspecting on 4th house will make sure that you are peaceful, you are content with the work that you perform. If you are into any kind of art, media, creativity, writing, research, IT related work, if you are into foreign travel, or if you are into yoga, spirituality, occult, then this is the perfect time period to excel in this career. Jupiter in Pisces energy will work pretty well for you. This is overall a time period of change, of experiencing or making the necessary changes in your career. Jupiter in Pisces in the 10th house can also bring a fresh perspective in terms of career, and you will receive help at the place of work. People will recognize your work. If you are selfless in your act of service, if you work, if you perform your duty and responsibility without any expectation, then this Jupiter in Pisces will give excellent results to you. For those who are looking to get married or looking to get into a relationship, there are good chances of meeting someone special at the place of work, or through your network circle, or through foreign travel, or through your profession. For those who are already married, this time period also indicates that there can be a change in career of the spouse. From the 10th house, Jupiter will aspect the 2nd house, 4th house and the 6th house of your horoscope. Jupiter's aspect on the 2nd house indicates that this Jupiter will expand your wealth assets. It will help you connect with people, places, opportunities that will add your wealth, that will add up to your savings and wealth assets. So this Jupiter's transit, it is favorable in terms of gaining more financial freedom, investing into the right places, and getting benefited from this Jupiterian energies when Jupiter moves into the 11th house of your horoscope. We have already talked about the Jupiter's aspect on the 4th house. Now moving ahead, when Jupiter aspects the 6th house of your horoscope, it's also the time to look after your routine life. You will receive guidance about how to make your routine life better. You will see that your routine life has become busier than before, and Jupiter in Pisces is kind of a spiritual detached energy, which loves to be in seclusion, which loves to be in the land of dreams. So make sure that during this time you don't detach yourself completely from the mundane duties, from your responsibilities, from your career. Do not get lethargic, and by remaining proactive and utilizing your creative ideas during this time, you can make the best of this transit. Overall results will be dependent on the natal planetary placements and the current Mahadasha and Antardasha one is undergoing. For the Cancer Ascendant and Moon sign natives, Jupiter rules the 6th and the 9th house of your horoscope, and Jupiter will now be transiting through the 9th house in the sign of Pisces in your horoscope. What else can you ask for when Jupiter himself is blessing you with the best? Since Saturn is transiting through the 7th house, aspecting your ascendant or moon sign, and Jupiter was also transiting through the 8th house since last 1 year, it hasn't been the best time period for all the Cancer natives, but soon you're going to see the brighter days, and Jupiter will bless you with the unconditional wisdom, guidance, support of luck, support of higher authority, of father, blessings of guru, and your own knowledge will get expanded during this time. It's a great time period to start any kind of spiritual practices. You can also find a guru, and guru can be found in any form. Suppose you are reading a book and that book itself becomes your guru, or you joined an online course, or you got enrolled into a society and you find a teacher over there. So these are the possibilities that can take place for the Cancer rising or the Cancer moon sign natives during this time. Get ready to expand your consciousness, to expand your wisdom, and you will also be considered as a guru during this time. People will look up to you and your wisdom. So whatever learnings you have got in the last 2.5 years, when Saturn is aspecting your ascendant or moon sign and Jupiter was in 8th house, it's time to execute that into reality. It's time to share that with the whole world out there. It's a great time period to go on pilgrimages during this time. It's a great time period to enhance your relationship with your father or with a guru. Those who are looking to get their PhD, or those who are pursuing their masters, or those who are looking to get into their higher education, or if you are planning to go abroad to pursue education, then this is the perfect time period to do so. You will get the support of luck. You will feel optimistic and hopeful about the steps that you take in life. So make the best of this time period when the luck favors you. This is also a time period when your mother's health can improve drastically for the betterment. Your relationship with your father or your father's health can also improve during this time. Those who are looking for childbirth, it's a great time period to get the blessings of Lord Jupiter and get blessed with the best progeny. When Jupiter transits the 9th house, it's like there is a rise in fortune, there is rise in lifestyle, in consciousness. You suddenly get the urge of learning something new. If you find out this urge in you, then do not sabotage this urge. Go ahead with it. Learn something new. Read that book. Start that spiritual practice. Meet the people. Become outgoing, because there is nothing greater than meeting new people, encountering new opportunities, and trust me, they are going to lead you to the betterment in overall life and your personality. It's all going to be good for your rise in life. As Pisces is the original 12th house sign of the Kalpurush Kundali, it also suggests that this is the perfect time period to work on your principles, to work on the spiritual practices that you follow, to recheck, reassess what kind of morals, principles you possess, if they are serving you, if they are taking you to your highest good or not, and implement those into reality accordingly. If you are in the field of media or publishing industry or marketing, travel, preaching, teaching, counseling, any kind of spiritual work such as yoga, meditation, occult practitioner, or if you are a therapist, then this is the perfect time period for all of you. Even if you are into research, then this is the perfect time period to get recognition for your efforts. Your efforts will be recognized at a larger scale during this time. From the 9th house, Jupiter will aspect your 1st house, 3rd house, and the 5th house. Jupiter's aspect on the 1st house indicates that there will be overall growth, optimism, and good health, wealth, recognition, reputation, enhancement in your personality. Jupiter's aspect on the 3rd house indicates that you will have an urge to share your knowledge, to share your wisdom with others, and I request you to do so without any hesitation. It's also a great time period for your siblings, and there can be a positive event in your siblings' life as well. You will receive support from your neighbors, from your friends, you will get benefited from the short and long both travels. Jupiter's aspect on the 5th house will activate your Purva Punya. It will make you feel lucky in life. It will suddenly make you encounter such bright and helpful opportunities and people and situation and circumstances that you will feel blessed. Overall results will be dependent on your natal planetary position and the current Mahadasha and Antardasha one is undergoing. For the Leo ascendant and moon sign natives, Jupiter rules the 5th and the 8th house of your horoscope, and Jupiter is now going to be transiting through the 8th house in the sign of Pisces in your horoscope. Now Jupiter is all about wisdom, expansion, and 8th house is all about the unknown, unseen, the area of our life and personality which is in darkness. So when Jupiter comes to the 8th house, it's like Leo ascendant and moon sign natives will be forced to shed light on the unseen, on the unknown parts, on the lesser attention given parts of their personality and life. So this is actually a good transit in terms of getting aware, becoming aware of what needs your attention, what needs work in order to become your best self. Being the 5th house ruler, it's the education, it's the creativity factor, it's how much you feel optimistic, confident, and outgoing in life. So now when Jupiter comes to the 8th house, Leo ascendant and moon sign natives are most likely to feel secretive, to remain in seclusion. There will be this sudden urge to isolate themselves and to learn a lot about life. There will be a lot of churning of the thoughts. There will be a lot of exploring the unknown. So it can be either through watching certain kind of movies or reading particular kind of books or assessing a particular thought pattern that you have been observing since quite a while in your personality and life. So this is a perfect time period to get rid of the uncertainties. So now Jupiter will alarm you, will let you know that these are the things, these are the aspects of your life and personality which are keeping you away from becoming your best self. So if the Leo ascendant and moon sign natives are ready to embrace this uncertainty for quite a period of while, and if they are ready to reflect on their personality, life, then this is the perfect transit to prepare themselves for the upcoming transit of Jupiter in the 9th house in the sign of Aries that is going to take place next year. Whenever Jupiter transits the 8th house of horoscope, it's also the time period when there can be sudden rise in hidden activities. You can find yourself suddenly learning a lot about occult, exploring the unknown. So just make sure that you are not compromising with your values, principles, morals, ethics at any cost or to gain anything. If you are someone who wants to practice any kind of mantra chanting, spirituality, you want to get into yoga, meditation, or if you want to worship your favorite Lord, your favorite God, then this is the perfect time period to start doing that. And you will see that this Jupiter in 8th house will immensely bless you with the hidden gems of knowledge, wisdom, understanding that will shock you and that will help you unlock your consciousness. This is also a great time period for all those who are into research, who are pursuing their masters, PhD, or if you are planning to travel abroad, because from the 8th house Jupiter will aspect your 12th house, 2nd house and 4th house. If you have any plans of traveling abroad, if you want to join that spiritual community, if you want to go for that 10 days course or suppose a month-long course on spirituality, yoga, meditation, rehabilitation center. If you are trying to get rid of addictions, this Jupiter can help you greatly during this time. Jupiter's aspect on the 2nd house will make your speech very spiritual, very sattvic. You can also become preachy, so avoid giving unnecessary advice and avoid speaking in a sarcastic manner. So suppose you are in your thoughts and somebody comes and talks to you about something which is kind of irritating to you, then make sure that you avoid paying heed to that. Instead, focus on what triggered this sudden urge to reply back to people in front of you. Jupiter's aspect on the 2nd house can also bring changes in your diet. Rather, it will prompt you to do so. Jupiter's aspect on the 4th house also indicates investment in property, renovation at home, buying new conveniences or vehicle during this time. It can also indicate relocation for some of you if the supportive yogas are present in your chart. So overall, this is the transit when you need to reflect a lot on your personality and life. You have to gain a lot of knowledge, read, learn, educate yourself as much as you can. Avoid being too secluded and you will be doing fine and you will become a better person when Jupiter transits the Aries. Overall results will be dependent on your natal planetary placements and the current Mahadasha and Antardasha one is undergoing. For the Virgo ascendant and moon sign natives, Jupiter rules the 4th and the 7th house of your horoscope, and Jupiter is now going to be transiting through the 7th house, that is the sign of Pisces, in your horoscope. Whenever Jupiter comes to the 7th house of horoscope, it's time when your social circle is about to get expanded. You're gonna get in contact with people who are more wiser than you, who are more mature in experience, not just in age, but mainly in experience. And you get to receive the wisdom from them that can help you enhance your personality and life. For those who are looking to get married, this is the perfect time period to do so. You are likely to find that perfect partner for yourself. When Jupiter transits the 7th house of horoscope, it's also a time period when you are gonna come in contact with influential people, people who will make you realize that the sky is the limit and you might feel as if you haven't achieved much in life. But Jupiter's aspect from the 7th house on your ascendant or moon sign also indicates that you will meet people who are supportive, who are cooperative in you attaining your goals. So make sure that you become extrovert during this time. You go out, you socialize, you let those new people in your network circle, and you will immensely get benefited through them. This is also a time period when there can be a relocation, there can be long distance travel, there can be overseas travel, especially if you are planning to or willing to go on voyages, then this is the perfect time period to do so. If you are into any kind of business or partnership, or if you are into the field of transportation, immigration, spirituality, or any kind of research, or any kind of business or work where you deal with the 8th and the 12th house matters such as insurance, spirituality, occult, software technology, or overseas travel, if you are a teacher, preacher, advisor, counselor, if you own a business related to these things, or even yoga, meditation, spirituality, kundalini awakening, this is the perfect time period when you can see growth in your business, in your partnerships. You will come in contact with new people who will be resourceful, who will be selfless in their attitude, and which will prompt you in turn to be selfless in your approach as well. The thing with the Virgo ascendant and moon sign natives is that they are always calculative and cautious in life. So when Jupiter comes to the 7th house in the sign of Pisces, which is all about letting go of the control issues, this is kind of a newer energy which you all are going to experience during this time. You will be asked to let go of the control issues and have faith in your gut instinct. So this is the perfect time to trust the guidance that you receive from other people. Remember, 7th house is getting stronger than the 1st house, which means that the people that you encounter are going to be of importance. So make sure that you pay attention and remain mindful and open, receptive to their advice. Jupiter in 7th house can also indicate that there will be business expansion. So if you encounter any opportunities to expand your business, to expand your work circle, or to bring any changes in your business or business model, then go for it without having any second thoughts. Marriage can also bring positive change in your life, but remember, the spouse will be highly spiritual, kind of eccentric, and will have some different personality traits and attributes or thought process than you possess. So be ready to use your Mercurian nature to adapt accordingly, and you will be able to make the best of this in terms of marriage or business partnership, or getting benefited through the increased and newly found network circle and contacts. If you are already married, then your spouse can suddenly find interest in spirituality, travel, or there can be changes in the marital bond. From the 7th house, Jupiter will aspect the 11th house, 1st house, and the 3rd house of your horoscope. It also indicates that you are going to create new opportunities for more financial freedom, income, and there will be rise in societal reputation. People will look up to you as somebody who is wise, who is mature, who knows what he or she wants to do in life. Jupiter's aspect on the ascendant is good in terms of health, wealth, happiness. There will be a glow up in your personality inside out. This is also a great time for any positive events in your siblings' life. If you want to initiate any entrepreneurial pursuit, then this is the perfect time period to do so. You will find ample amount of opportunities and support from your network circle, from your childhood friends, from your neighbors, from the people living in a different continent to people living in your locality. So overall, a positive time period and transit for Virgo natives. Overall results will be dependent on the natal planetary placements and the current Mahadasha and Antardasha one is undergoing. For the Libra ascendant and moon sign natives, Jupiter rules the 3rd and the 6th house of your horoscope, and Jupiter is now going to be transiting through the 6th house, that is the sign of Pisces, in your chart. For the Libra natives, this is the time period to become health conscious, to become mindful of their diet, of their routine life, and you can find a sudden spark of interest and urge to get into the field of yoga, meditation. You will suddenly become diet conscious, health conscious. You will prefer going for long walks after dinner or even after lunch. And this Jupiter will mainly prompt you to look after your diet, what you eat. If you are someone who has been quite ignorant about their health and has been eating mindlessly or haven't been taking care of their health, then this Jupiter has got the potential to actually expand the diseases and the pain that comes after having a diseased body or diseased mind can be experienced during this time, because Jupiter rules the 3rd house, that is 8th to the 8th house, and 6th house, that is the house of health. So be careful, go for walking every day. This is the perfect remedy, perfect exercise for the Libra natives. If you are someone who was planning to go on foreign travel, or if you are looking for foreign settlement or getting a PR, or if you want to relocate, or if you want to permanently settle outside the country, then this is a perfect time period to do so. You can suddenly find a urge to join healthcare classes, or you might educate yourself in the field of Ayurveda, or you might want to gain wisdom on how the science of Ayurveda or ancient techniques related to health and eating habits work. You can also find an urge to join social welfare communities. You might get ahead in the support of animal welfare. You might want to serve the underprivileged people. You might want to join spiritual communities or that yoga class. Then please do so. Do not hold yourself back, because this Jupiter wants you to do that in order to become a better self, to become more sattvic, to become more aligned with your best possible health. When it comes to health matters, Libra ascendant and moon sign natives are being called to remain diet conscious, health conscious. You have to be mindful of the health related to stomach, digestion, fat issues, intestine, and especially your feet will require more care and attention during this time. Staying hydrated and performing any kind of meditation practice every day, going on walks will be helpful. Now, one thing to remember during this time is the 6th house ruler is coming to the 6th house, which means that it can expand the debts. It can expand the activities related to your enemies. So make sure that you do not get into unnecessary debts for unwanted reason. All I'm saying is you better assess the reason behind taking on debts. If it's just for the leisure activity, or if you have a plan in place, a proper plan of action to mitigate that debt in so and so period in upcoming future, this is what you should be mindful of. There can be some expenses on hospitalization, there can be some expenses on foreign travel of either you or your sibling can travel abroad during this time, or this can also happen that you want to learn particular thing, and for that matter you are spending a hefty amount of money. So make sure that your health requires proper attention and mindfulness, so that you don't end up spending a lot of resources, money, time and energy on unwanted and unnecessary things or your health. So now Jupiter in the 6th house will aspect the 10th house, the 12th house and the second house of your horoscope, which indicates that if you are doing any kind of back-end work, if you are into any kind of imaginative, creative work, if your career requires you to deal with foreigners, travel, transportation, meditation, yoga, spirituality, or any kind of 12th house matters, any kind of research, then this is a great time period when you can see rise in your career. If you are even into healthcare field, if you are a medical practitioner, if you are a fitness trainer, if you are a yoga trainer, this is the great time period to expand your work. Your work can reach at a certain level which was unimaginable for you before. Your name can be reaching to even the international level and not just the local level. So make sure that you do your best, you remain selfless in your duties. You are likely to become more empathetic and more sensitive to the surrounding during this time. So make sure that you surround yourself with proper people who are supportive, who are positive, and who don't have any hidden agenda towards you. Jupiter's aspect on the second house will make you realize what kind of values you must possess in order to become the best self and experience life at its best. Overall results will be dependent on the planetary placements in your natal chart and the current Mahadasha and Antardasha one is undergoing. For the Scorpio ascendant and moon sign natives, Jupiter rules the second and the fifth house of your horoscope, and Jupiter is now going to be transiting through the fifth house of your horoscope, that is the sign of Pisces. One thing to remember is that this transit of Jupiter is going to be one of a life-changing positive time period for all the Scorpio ascendant and moon sign natives. So make sure that you remain proactive and make the best of this transit of Jupiter in the sign of Pisces. One thing we have to remember is that fifth house is the natural sign of Leo in the Kalpurush Kundali, which represents the royal throne. So when fifth lord comes to the fifth house, it's time when your Purva Punya gets activated like anything, and it's Jupiter is coming over here to bless you with the best. You will be able to fulfill all your desires, all your ambitions. If you were looking to get that promotion, if you were looking to get that authoritative managerial administrative post at the place of work, or if you are an artist and you were striving hard to get recognition for your efforts, for your art, for your talent, for your creativity, if you own any kind of consultancy related business, if you are into media, writing, publishing, or any kind of research related work, then this is the best time period that your work is about to get recognized throughout the world. It's gonna be the worldwide fame name is on cards for the Scorpio ascendant and moon sign natives. Of course, the natal planetary placements and the dasha matters, but if you help your luck with the help of putting in the best of efforts, then this time period is going to be one of the best for you. This is also a great time to start any kind of spiritual practice in order to enhance your luck. Those who are looking for a childbirth, this is the perfect time period when Jupiter will bless you with the progeny. And those who already have child or children in their life, it's going to be a great time period for them. Your children will be doing great in life, and you are likely to experience happiness from your progeny. Jupiter being the second house ruler transiting through the fifth house also indicates that there can be changes in the means of your earnings. There can be changes in the family environment. There can be renewal of energy in your values, your wealth assets. Your speech pattern is going to become more wise, more spiritual, more meaningful, and people will look up to you as an extremely wise and well-learned, well-groomed person during this time. Overall, your words will hold great value during this time. So make sure when somebody asks you for your advice or your guidance, you serve them at your best, and this will help you enhance your luck even more. Whenever Jupiter transits the 5th house, either from moon or ascendant, it opens up opportunities of new ways of learning. So if you are planning to get into higher education, or if you are a student yourself, or if you were concerned about the education of your child, then this time period will see positive growth in educational field for you or your child. This transit of Jupiter will help you gain satisfaction in all areas of life and not just one. Jupiter from the 5th house can also provoke you, can also prompt you in writing your own book, publishing your own book, or you might invest in reading books or learning from courses, either online or offline. Jupiter from the 5th house will aspect the 9th house, 11th house, and the 1st house of horoscope, which means that your luck is going to get increased during this time. There will be betterment in your father's personality. You will get benefited through your father, through your gurus, through the people of other cultural backgrounds, and also of foreign travels. This is a great time period to fulfill your dream of visiting the much awaited pilgrimages, go on those long distance journeys, meet new people, make new contacts, because Jupiter will also cast its aspect on the 11th house of horoscope, which means that the more you travel, the more you remain open-minded, the more you socialize and remain selfless and connected to your soul purpose, to who you are and what drives you ahead in life, the better your finances are going to be becoming. Jupiter's aspect on the ascendant will bring overall good health, happiness, wealth, and ease in any of the problems that you were undergoing since quite a long time. So overall, a positive transit for all the Scorpio natives, and overall results will be dependent on your natal planetary placements and the current Mahadasha and Antardasha one is undergoing. For the Sagittarius ascendant and moon sign natives, Jupiter rules your ascendant or moon sign, that is the 1st house of your horoscope, and the 4th house of your chart, that is the sign of Pisces. And now Jupiter is transiting through the 4th house of your horoscope in its own sign. So when the ascendant or moon sign ruler is transiting through the 4th house of horoscope, it indicates that the sole focus and the purpose of this transit is to focus on your mental well-being, on your home life, on your peace of mind. Anything that is not serving you or anything that is taking away your peace of mind must be going out of your life during this time. Only then this transit of Jupiter in Pisces will help you become your best self and will give its best positive fruits to you. Because remember, the sign of Pisces is the natural 12th house of the Kalpurush Kundali, which is all about surrender, which is all about letting go of what's not serving for your highest good. So whatever subconscious pattern or any kind of behavioral pattern within your home, within your family, if they were causing any hindrance in your personality development, then this is the perfect time to address all those issues during this time. Having 4th Lord in the 4th house also indicates that you can invest in a new home, you can renovate the current home that you live in. Your mother's health is likely to improve during this time. If you want to improve your relationship with your mother, this is the time period when you must be proactive in taking steps towards it, and Jupiter's blessings will help you immensely in attaining that desired goal. If you are someone who is looking to get relocated, or if you are living abroad and want to return back to your motherland, or suppose if you want to live with your mother away from your home or within your motherland, then this is the perfect time period all of your desires related to home matters, conveniences, vehicle, property, or a relationship with mother, your relationship with your own mind is going to see betterment and brighter days in upcoming year of time period. One of the best ways to make the best of this transit of Jupiter is to do any kind of water remedy, to go for swimming, to balance the water element, the tattva of water in your body by staying hydrated, by drinking ample amount of water, or by going on long walks, or for relaxing swimming sessions. You can activate these Jupiterian qualities which will help you expand and bring betterment in your heart chakra. For those of you who are into the career field of teaching, preaching, traveling, any kind of spiritual based business, or if you own any home based business, if you are into traveling, or if you are into transportation or arts, media, creativity, creative writing related business, into any kind of research work, then this time period will see immense growth in your work. You can even gain recognition from the local government during this time. You can also gain support of the local authorities in matters of getting approvals for your work, or getting recognition, awards, name, fame during this time. Bringing positive and spiritual changes within the home environment will help you unleash the best possible results of this transit. From the 4th house, Jupiter will aspect your 8th house, 10th house, and the 12th house of horoscope, which indicates that you are likely to learn the hidden mysteries of life. You are going to be involved in learning something which is considered as a taboo for the society, and that will help you unlock a lot of subconscious patterns which will help you excel in life in general, as a person in general. You would be able to address the hidden enemies or the hidden issues in your personality and life during this time, as Jupiter will help you gain wisdom by you being in meditative state, by you performing that yoga, that consistently following any kind of meditation practice. Jupiter's aspect on the 10th house will bring ease, peace, and growth and expansion and blessings at the place of work. People will start respecting you more than before. And Jupiter's aspect on the 12th house indicates that there can be foreign travel, there can be newly found interest in spiritual communities, spiritual gatherings, or you can get into any kind of philanthropic work during this time. Overall, a positive transit in terms of bringing betterment, in terms of attaining more peaceful environment within and around you. Overall results will be dependent on the natal planetary placements and the current Mahadasha and Antardasha one is undergoing. For the Capricorn Ascendant and Moon sign natives, Jupiter rules the 12th and the 3rd house of your horoscope, and now Jupiter is going to be transiting through the 3rd house in the sign of Pisces in your horoscope. So when the Lord of the 12th house comes to the 3rd house of your horoscope, it kind of expands your subconscious patterns. It kind of expands your ability to become more creative. It's going to prompt you in making your dreams come into reality, because 12th house is the house of imagination and the 3rd house is the house of creative interest, our hobbies, skills of hands. So Capricorn rising and moon sign natives are most likely to take interest in all kinds of spiritual arts or any kind of art, talent, creative skills such as painting, sculpting. Creative writing is going to be one of the best possible ways in which you can express yourself during this time. You're going to get bombarded with creative ideas, and the visualization will find channels, will find ways in which you can express your creative hidden desires and interests. And people will recognize your talent. People will recognize the work that you put out into the universe. So it might or might not be in the form of creativity, but people, you will notice that they will recognize your efforts. They will recognize that your words hold value, that your work holds value in this universe. When the third lord is in the third house, it's also the time period when your siblings can see a bright, fortunate period in their life. If your siblings or you yourself were planning to travel abroad, or you were planning to take up that long distance travel, you were planning to take up that much awaited course, then this is the perfect time period to say a big yes to all these things. If your sibling or you were living abroad and you were planning to get back to your motherland, this is the supportive time period to do so, to take steps towards that. More of reading, more of sudden and newly found interest in creative world, in spiritual texts, in leisure activities such as meditation, more of sleeping, more of exploring the places near the water is on cards for all the Capricorn Ascendant and Moon sign natives. For those into the field of yoga, meditation, if you are into travel, you are into blogging, vlogging, any kind of social media related work, or you are a creative writer, you work in the field of media industry, this is a time period when your work is going to get recognized like never before. Just make sure that you are not being preachy in front of the wrong audience. Make sure that you speak, you share your wisdom, you share your knowledge and consciousness with the people who value your talent, your time, and your word. With Jupiter coming to the third house, it's time to read more. It's going to open up new realms of learning. So make sure that you are staying open and receptive to any kind of information. Because remember, third house is also the house of information. It's house of connecting with other people. So any kind of person, information that you encounter during this time, remember that they are here for a particular purpose and you are not being ignorant or rigid to not learn from anything or anybody. Any experience during this time is going to be helpful in unleashing the creative talent within you, and it will help you become a better person, more adaptable, more aware, more mindful, and more creative from the inside. For those who are looking to get married since a long time, marriage yoga is being activated as Jupiter from the third house will aspect your 7th house, 9th house, and the 11th house of fulfillment of desires. So make sure that there is going to be support of luck. Your own efforts are helping you unleash the support of luck. So avoid being lethargic, stay proactive, as any which way Capricorn, Ascendant and Moon sign natives are hardworking, and Jupiter's aspect on the 9th house will enhance and brighten your fortune, bringing you towards new opportunities, people who will present you the growth that you are willing to attain. Jupiter's aspect on the 7th house also supports any kind of freelancing work, any kind of entrepreneurial pursuits. There is a chance of forming partnerships, business partnerships, marriage with people of foreign nationalities and different cultural backgrounds. Jupiter aspect on the 11th house will help you generate more sources of income. You can be earning through multiple sources of income during this time, which is a great thing. So make sure that you are being proactive and you are being devoted and selfless to your service, to your work, to your craft. Overall results will be dependent on the natal planetary placements and the current Mahadasha and Antardasha one is undergoing. For the Aquarius Ascendant and Moon sign natives, Jupiter rules the 11th and the 2nd house of your horoscope, and now Jupiter is going to be transiting through the 2nd house, that is from the sign of Pisces in your horoscope. One thing which is significant for the Aquarius ascendant and moon sign natives is that Jupiter has got the rulership of two wealth related houses, that is the 11th house, which is the routine income, the regular earnings, and the second house, that is the wealth assets, savings. So when Jupiter is in good dignity in the second house, we can expect a great rise in the savings on account of wealth assets for the Aquarius natives. When Jupiter transits the second house from ascendant or moon sign, it's like you are gaining that wisdom from Jupiter. It's like you are gaining optimism. You will be presented with newly found optimism, positivity, knowledge, wisdom, and a newly found vision to understand life or to see life in a different manner. There will be a renewed sense of energy within your family life. Your values are likely to undergo a major transformation or change during this time, because remember, Pisces is the natural 12th house sign of the Kalpurush Kundali, which is all about letting go of something, getting rid of the old energy and embracing the unknown, understanding the unknown. So during this time is the perfect time period to make those necessary changes in your dietary pattern. You might crave a lot of sweet food during this time, so make sure that you are being mindful of your diet during this time, because Jupiter, when transiting through your first house in the sign of Aquarius, must have given you increased bodily weight, physical changes, but Jupiter in the second house can make your face look chubby. So you have to watch out for your diet, and that will help you get the best results of this Jupiter's transit. Eating more of sattvic food, balanced food, whatever is necessary for your body type is suggested over here. There can be new revenues and newly found ways of earning money. If you want to invest in any kind of foreign trades, if you want to invest in travel, business, or if you are looking to open up or to invest in any kind of food product related business, then this is the great time when you can make great revenue out of it. Whenever Jupiter transits the second house, it's also the time period when your speech is likely to become more spiritual, more eccentric, because Pisces is a kind of detached energy. So it might so happen that people in your family are finding you to be more spiritual in nature, more detached. You are speaking less, and suddenly you speak the words of wisdom, which can make the people around you kind of get into a shock, because you are likely to become more spiritual in your speech. So make sure that you are being preachy in front of the right kind of people at the right circumstances and time period. When Jupiter comes to the second house, it aspects the 6th house, 10th house, and the 8th house of your horoscope, which indicates that you can take up loan during this time. You can get that desired fill via getting a loan during this time. So make sure that you are sure, you are confident of the plan of action and why you want to take up the loan, and make sure that you do that for the right reasons under the right circumstances. Jupiter's aspect on the 8th house will help you understand the hidden blockages in your personality and life. What has been causing troubles in your life? Which activities are not serving you? That knowledge you are going to gain during this time. So keep an eye on these things and make sure that you trust your gut instinct. You are also likely to encounter spiritual people during this time, people who are interested in spirituality, people who are interested in yoga, meditation. You might meet people who give you knowledge, who help you transform your values. So make sure that you are socializing with all types of people, especially people of different ethnicity and cultural backgrounds, can introduce you to a newly found art form, newly found knowledge, which was a surprising fact for you, but it will spark the creative interest in you. Jupiter's aspect on the 10th house will help you raise your vibration at the place of work. Your speech will become so influencing that people at the place of work will start recognizing, will start valuing you and what you have to offer to the world. So overall, a positive transit for the Aquarius ascendant and moon sign natives, given the fact that they have to be careful and mindful about their health. Overall results will be dependent on the natal planetary placements and the current Mahadasha and Antardasha one is undergoing. For the Pisces ascendant and moon sign natives, the transit of Jupiter is going to take place from the first house of your horoscope, that is the sign of Pisces. Jupiter rules the 10th house and the first house of your horoscope. Now what else can be the best possible scenario in the case of Pisces, right? The ascendant ruler or the moon sign ruler transiting through its own sign, which means that the Pisces natives are going to become more assertive, more clear-headed, and more growth-oriented during this time. The year will expand your horizons, it will broaden your experiences, it will offer you ample amount of opportunities for growth in all possible realms, let it be physical, spiritual, mental, financial, education-wise, or in terms of unlocking your subconscious, your psychic patterns. For Pisces ascendant and moon sign natives, having the 10th lord coming to the Lagna or over your moon sign, it's gonna make you realize your responsibilities like never before. So get ready to have a proper plan of action in place. You might have dual thoughts during this time, as Pisces being the dual sign with having Jupiter in it, and Saturn is going to aspect the Jupiter for quite few months during the year 2022 and the first half of year 2023, which can kind of hinder your growth or the speed, but the Pisces ascendant and moon sign natives will see considerable amount of growth and opportunities coming their way throughout the year. So instead of being lethargic, instead of just daydreaming, make sure that you go out there, you mingle with people, you share your talents and gifts by being unapologetic. By doing this, you will do justice to your ascendant or your moon sign ruler coming to your ascendant after, or your moon sign after almost 12 years of time. Whenever the ascendant ruler or the moon sign ruler is transiting through that house, it's a great time period to attain health, wealth, name, recognition, happiness, and growth in life. You will find a newly found perspective to look at life, as now the planetary ruler of your sign is gaining authority, gaining dignity over here. So any kind of pending issues in your life are likely to get sorted. New direction is likely to be found. New spark of joy, interest, optimism will be overflowing. And those who are looking to get into any kind of higher education, or those who are students, or those who want to get enrolled in any kind of education, this is the perfect time period to do so. And this Jupiter will help you excel in the educational field like never before. If you possess any kind of writing skills, any kind of creative talents, if you are a consultant, if you are into any kind of back-end duties, creative work, then this time period will see positive growth and new opportunities coming your way. Those who are willing to get married, those who are willing to travel abroad, those who are seeking to get a desired job, desired position, authority, or that promotion at the place of work, it's all on cards. Just you have to make sure that you are being proactive and taking steps every day towards your goal, so that Jupiter will help you in making those dreams come into reality. Having a spiritual approach and making the necessary amendments in your principles, morals, values, enhancing your relationship with your father, gurus, getting connected with books, source of knowledge, any kind of courses, traveling and meeting new people. This all will unlock your subconscious mind. It will help you elevate in life. Jupiter from the first house will aspect the 5th house, 7th house and the 9th house of horoscope, which means that you are likely to be in charge of your own destiny. You are likely to activate your Purva Punya, and your luck will also be on rise during this time. So other people are going to be listening to your advice. Your word is going to be of importance during this time. Your career, your duties will take a front seat in your life, and make sure that you are being dutiful towards your career and not just daydreaming or not wasting your time on unnecessary things. So probably you can do one thing, that you can divide your time during the day and night for doing certain activities in a certain way in order to make the best of this transit of Jupiter, which is gaining strength in your first house of horoscope. Health needs great attention during this time. The more you are health conscious, the better this Jupiter will help you in enhancing it even more. Jupiter in first house can even help you gain weight. So if you are looking to gain weight, this is a great time for you. If you don't want that, then you better become proactive and do the necessary things by joining gym or doing exercise and keeping control on your diet. Overall, a period of great growth, positivity, and you will see yourself as a different person. There can be change in wardrobe, there can be changes in the looks, there can be overall glow up from the inside out. So a positive transit for Pisces natives, and the overall results will be dependent on the current planetary Mahadasha and Antardasha and the natal planetary placements that you have in your chart.